my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing Easter. So in today's video, I thought I would share with you some tips on how you can start to declutter your life. I have recently had a number of questions from people asking how it is that I make my decisions and why I choose what I'm throwing and what I'm keeping and how and why I even declutter in the first place. So I thought I would go through a range of tips as to why we declutter, how I make my decisions, and what to do once you've decluttered. So if you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos, and let's go ahead and get started. Number one is why we declutter. I didn't really think about this up until maybe the last couple of years, and I just kept accumulating things, and then I realized I was struggling to keep everything clean. So the less stuff we have, the easier it is to clean and the easier it is to find a place for everything. I also find that the less items within a room makes a room feel really comfortable and really fresh. I feel like it's a bit overwhelming when there's too many things within a room. So that's why I started to declutter. I wanted to get rid of things that not only I didn't need, because let's be honest, we really don't need all this stuff, we just want it. And so I decided to get rid of a lot of stuff that I didn't need, things that I didn't really want either. And I've just found that keeping my apartment clean has been so much easier when I own less stuff, and it also doesn't feel like everything's caving in on me. I feel like my space is a lot bigger and fresher just having less items. So I think that's why we declutter, is to be able to kind of keep our space clean and keep it feeling really good for ourselves. Number two is where to start, and this is totally up to you to try and create whatever method you like. My personal method is actually working from the front of my apartment at my windows, so in this particular room and in my living room, and working my way back through my apartment. But you could go different room by room. You could start with the kitchen first, do the bathroom next, do the bedroom next. You go room by room, or you could even go sort of item by item, like maybe you're going to do all of the home decor in your house first, and then maybe you might do all your clothes and your shoes, and then you might do food, something like that. So you can kind of work out what system is going to work best for you. But like I said, I just start at one point in my apartment and just work the whole way across, and I just keep pushing things to like towards the door. So my hallway right now is actually stacked up with a whole bunch of boxes and bags of things that I'm going to take to get rid of, and I just kind of keep pushing it in that direction, and then eventually when I'm done, I can just kind of scoop everything up and take it out. Actually plan to go and take some stuff out this week so I can kind of get rid of that awful mess that I have in my hallway. But that's kind of my method. So work out what's going to work best for you, maybe write it down, make a checklist of what you want to do, and then go from there. Number three is to not have any expectations. You might go, you know what? It's the weekend, I'm gonna declutter my entire house this weekend, and then you might get disappointed because you haven't completed it in that time. Seriously, I have been progressively decluttering my room since the start of 2017, or not my room, my whole apartment, since 2017, and I am nowhere near finished, and it has been 5 months. This could take me an entire year. It's little bit by little bit, and I keep doing it. It's just gonna be such a long process, so don't have any expectations of how long it will take or whether you will get everything out that you want. You might have to go through the same space 2 or 3 times to eventually clear out everything you want, because it can be really hard letting go of some stuff. Number four is to set yourself up a yes, a no, and a maybe pile, and just keep doing this. So for clothes, go yes, no, and maybe, and then once you've put all the no's away, you've put all the yeses away, go through your maybe pile and break them down into 3 again, and just keep going until that maybe pile is completely gone and then all you're left with is yes and no items. Number five, if you're having some trouble trying to decide whether to keep an item, ask yourself a few of these questions. One, for example, if it's a dress, do you wear it often? When was the last time you wore it? When will be the next time you wear it? That's kind of going to determine whether you should keep it. If it's something you haven't worn in like 2 or 3 years, maybe it's time to get rid of it. The next second question is it sentimental? For example, I have a dress that's in my wardrobe. I haven't worn it in a couple of years, but my mom bought it for me and it means a lot to me, and I really just don't want to get rid of it. That dress holds some value to me, more value than wearing something constantly, so that's why I keep it. And the third thing to ask yourself is, does it make you happy? Looking at something or holding something, does it make you happy? Do you enjoy having this item in your life? And if not, then maybe it's time to get rid of it. Number 6, this one might sound a little bit weird, but the reason that I'm so quick to throw things out is because I have in the back of my mind that if I really miss that item and I've made a mistake in throwing it out, it's not the end of the world. I can go and repurchase it. And I know that sounds like a little bit like kind of like you're throwing your money away, but here's the thing. I have not once purchased any of the things that I've actually thrown out. So I keep that in the back of my head to kind of make me feel a little bit more at peace with throwing things out so quickly, but I've never had to repurchase anything, which is obviously a sign as to me throwing it out in the first place was a good idea. So keep that in the back of your mind. Like, realistically, if you really miss something, you can repurchase it, and it's not such a big issue because you know that you really want it and that your money is going to be well spent. You know, we all make mistakes. It does happen. But like I said, not once have I had to repurchase anything. So keeping that in the back of my mind has made it a lot easier to get rid of things that I obviously do not miss. Number 7, when you buy something new, try and get rid of something old so that you're not going to start building up with too many of the same thing. For example, if I buy a beautiful gray sweater and I love it and I already have a gray sweater and they're very similar, I might as well get rid of the old one and make way for the new one, because obviously I'm gonna love the newer one more because I just bought it. That's kind of my logic with my wardrobe. I kind of need one gray sweater. I don't need 10 of them. So if I really wanted a new gray sweater, I should get rid of one of the other ones. And it's the same with decor items. If you see this beautiful decor piece that's like maybe a fake plant or flowers, but you already have a million of them, maybe it's time to take one of the older ones and get rid of that and replace it and have this new one that you really like in its place instead, rather than ending up with too many of like the same or similar items. Number 8, and I get this question a lot, is what do I do with all of the stuff that I'm getting rid of? So I think it depends on what it is. Obviously, some things that are just not worth donating or not worth passing on to someone else need to be thrown out in the bin. So yes, there is a large portion of stuff, particularly clothes that might have holes in them, or just things that are not looking in the best quality or the best shape anymore. It's time to get rid of them. Then I will look at my friends and my family. I'll ask them if they want anything from all of my stuff that I'm getting rid of. If they don't, then I tend to go and donate it all. It's a nice feeling to get rid of everything that you no longer need nor want, and to be able to help people who do need those things and maybe do want those things. So I like to donate pretty much 90% of everything that I get rid of. That includes furniture. I've got a kettle out there. I've got boxes of clothes and shoes. I'm going to donate all of that. It's not necessary for me to just throw it out, because that would be awful, because there's nothing wrong with it. But I also don't really want to sell it. I'd rather just donate it and give it to someone that needs it more. And then there are certain items that I will sell, like, you know, maybe more expensive items, bags, shoes, certain clothing pieces that I feel like have a bit more value and that you can sell on, but it's totally up to you what you want to do with your items. But that's what I like to do. Most of it gets donated or passed on to friends and families, some in the bin, and then some to sell as well. Number 9, do not feel guilty for getting rid of things. Yes, sometimes I feel a little bit guilty and feel like I'm being a terrible consumer, but it's okay to get rid of things. And just remind yourself that if you are donating it, it's going to someone that probably needs it way more than you do. And also, if you do really regret throwing something out, try not to feel guilty about repurchasing it, because you know that it is something that you truly want if you're bringing it back into your life. So spending the money on it shouldn't be something that you feel guilty about, because you know that you're gonna get the use out of it. It's gonna make you happy, and it's something that you really want. Number 10, and the final tip that I have to share with you, is once you start decluttering, you cannot stop. And trust me, it's not a bad thing. I love it. So I'm entirely happy to keep doing this for the rest of my life. But it's something you have to maintain. Otherwise, your space is just going to build up with things again in like 5 years. You're going to be right back to where you started with owning way too much stuff. So I did a really good thorough declutter of my wardrobe back in September, and I've recently just done another one because it is a change of season. I think change of season is a great time to redo wardrobes. I like to buy new clothes. I like to keep up with the trends, but I don't need to keep stacking clothes on clothes and clothes. So I like to get rid of some and bring in the new ones. And then that way my clothes collection will always stay quite small and pretty much just on this rack. And then I don't own too much, and it's not gonna get in the way, and it's not hard to clean. And I just feel better about it when I get rid of things to bring in new stuff. So I'm gonna keep decluttering every few months all over my home. For example, I can see a couple of flowers and vases over there that I'm gonna get rid of and bring in with some stuff that I feel like is suiting my current mood and my like trends and what I'm loving right now. And I guess in a few months time, I'm probably gonna hate those, get rid of those and bring in some new ones. So that's kind of giving you an idea of how to keep decluttering again and again and again. Otherwise, you just build stuff up when you buy new things. I love shopping, but I don't need that much stuff. So it's about, you know, kind of like exchanging things. I'm gonna give something away to bring something new in. So yeah, those are my 10 tips for starting to declutter, how to go about it, how to get rid of everything, and to keep decluttering again and again and again. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos. Up the top here, you can check out my last video. Down the bottom, I will leave a link to another one of my organization videos, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!